I'm Stephanie and let's talk books. Today we've got lots and lots of books. So I wasn't planning on doing another haul quite so soon, but my books I've bought pile is getting kind of big. So let's go ahead and look at some of the books that I got. Picked up quite a few titles from my local library. Each of the library branches always has a section of books for sale. Usually they're ones that people donated, but they also sometimes have old library copies that they're taking out of circulation, and usually the hardcovers are $1 or $2 and the paperbacks are 50 cents to $1. So when I see something that looks interesting on the shelves, I tend to pick it up. Look at all the library books I got. So the first one I got is Sabriole by Garth Nix. This is a book that I have loved for a long time. It's probably the book series from my childhood and teenage years that I still love the most, aside from maybe Harry Potter. So I was really happy to pick up a copy of this. I do have an ebook copy, but I love the cover, and having a physical copy is great. I also grabbed a Sword of Storms, which is the third book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. Probably one of the few fantasy lovers on the planet who hasn't read or seen anything from the Game of Thrones series. So it's one that I would like to check out next year. So I grabbed this one and I'm super excited because it's green. I love green. Publishers, make more green books. Another green book I picked up is The Throne of Jade. This is the second book in the Temeraire series. And I've heard really good things about this series. Again, it's one I found at the library and I thought I would pick it up. I mean, it's got dragons in it, so can't be that bad. Next up is The Martian by Andy Weir. This is another book that I've heard lots of great things about. I love the movie, my husband loved the movie, and I thought this would be a great addition into my sci-fi collection because I do want to read more science fiction. When I read science fiction, I do tend to enjoy it, but I often kind of forget about it and just keep reading from fantasy. So this is another one that I'm really hoping to read in the beginning of 2020. Speaking of science fiction, I've got one of the Thrawn books by Timothy Zahn. This is the second one, Thrawn Alliances. I have read this one and I did really enjoy it. I read the first two and I liked them. I do think that the Thrawn books are some of the better of the new canon Star Wars books. I've had some hits and some misses out of these newer Star Wars books, but this is one I really like. This is actually an old circulation copy, so I picked that one up. It was in really, really good condition for having been in circulation for so long, and I mean, it's Star Wars and it's really, really pretty. Next up, this is the last one I got from the library. This is the Song of Achilles. This is a YA book. It's a retelling of the Iliad. And I know I've seen a lot of buzz about this on BookTube, and this was actually also recommended to me by my little sister. She actually gave me a whole list of recommendations when she was down here this fall, and so I thought I would go ahead and pick up a copy and see if I liked it. It was $1. And hopefully I'll enjoy that, and hopefully I will also get to some of the other series that she recommended me next year. I also put in a book outlet order, and if you know about Book Outlet, you know that there's free shipping of $35, and I always have a surprisingly difficult time finding $35 worth of books to put in my cart, but you know, it happens. So here's a bunch of stuff from Book Outlet. I got Abortion by Garth Nix. This is the third book in the Sabriole series. I also picked up the first half of the Malloreon series by David Eddings. This is the compendium bind-up. I have the Belgariad, and now I also have half of the Malloreon. This is another classic fantasy series that I really loved. As a kid growing up, my dad had these, and it's a series that I read quite a few times. Something I haven't read before, Dangerous Women, which is a collection of short stories by a bunch of different authors, and including Brandon Sanderson. So I know I love that. It's also got some other authors in here that I have heard a lot about, but I haven't read anything from. I thought this would be a great way to check out some of these other authors in a way that was a pretty low investment compared to reading an actual book or an entire series. I grabbed a copy of Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is from the Renegade series, which I think is going to be my favorite YA series of 2019. And so they had the hard copy of this book too, so I grabbed that one. Lastly, I picked up an Enchantment of Raisins and The Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I really enjoyed both of these books. I thought The Enchantment of Raisins was just a really sweet story, and I thought The Sorcery of Thorns was really creative and unique and interesting, and I'm really excited to see more from her. These are her first 2 novels, and I would absolutely pick up some more of her works. I also picked up the other 2 books from the Renegade series, Supernova, which just came out, and also the first book, Renegades. I so enjoyed this. I finished Supernova in like 2 days, so spoiler alert for my wrap up this month. But I really enjoyed this series. I love the cover art as well. They're just stunningly gorgeous books. Not gonna lie, that's part of the reason I wanted to get them, because they're gorgeous, but they're also really fun and enjoyable, and the characters are really interesting, the superpowers are awesome, and I'm definitely going to be rereading this series. My husband and I go to Barnes & Nobles a lot. I don't usually buy a whole lot from Barnes & Noble, but I just like walking around and looking at books and all of the bookish stuff that they have, and while I was there, I saw this beautiful book, Ember in the Ashes by Sabriole. This was my favorite YA series from 2018. I absolutely loved it. It kind of has a Roman Empire type setting, but it's a fantasy series. So I really like the books. I really love the white with the pop of color cover design. Unfortunately, after the first 2 books, they switched to this cover design. The original cover design was different. So I had already picked up a copy of the 3rd one in hardcover with this style of cover design, but I'd held off getting the other 2 because I wanted the pretty covers, and you couldn't get them in hardcover. But Barnes & Noble delivered, and they got a custom hardcover with a new cover art. So it's also got an autograph on there, so that is really great. There is 1 more of these books that's going to be coming out, and so I will be really excited to get the ending to this series. I thought it was really original and really interesting, and I just love the characters, and I can't wait to find out what happens to them. And lastly, I picked up Volume 1 and Volume 2 of The Crown of Stars from one of my local used bookstores for $1 each. This is a series that has been on my radar for several years, but I haven't picked it up, and I recently picked up a couple of hardcovers. They're probably off camera, but they're like right there. So I have, I think, 3, 4, and 6. But I saw that they had books 1 and books 2, so I thought that'll get me a good way through the series, and then when I get to book 5, I'll have to find a copy of book 5. But this is another series that is high on my 2020 reading list, and I'm really excited to read it. I love a good mass market paperback. I don't know, there's just something about the broken in spines on a mass market paperback that makes me really happy. I'm a kind of person, I like my hardbacks to be pristine, my paperbacks to be well loved. Anyways, those are all the books that I've got since my last haul video. Let me know down in the comment section below, have you got any new books? And also let me know, do you like hardbacks? Do you like paperbacks? Do you like the mass market? Do you like the big floppy paperbacks? So that's it, guys, and until next time, bye. Yeah, so I got some books. I got a lot of books. They all gotta go over here somewhere. But yeah, good stuff.